In this scenario, Piccolo feels more of his Kami side and works hard to protect the planet that he's guarded for 300 years. In the first year, he stays on the lookout, training and talking with Popo and Dende. Popo is a longtime friend, and together they train up Dende to be a capable fighter like Kami once was. In turn, Dende shares history from Namek and even tries to show Piccolo how to heal. Acacia trees start growing on the lookout. Piccolo uses the time room, in which he sees ancient Namek with warriors, mages, and mechanics building and supporting a thriving planet and culture. He sheds a tear, knowing the cataclysm was soon. Piccolo also sees himself on Earth when he was younger, waiting for rescue, then training for Kami. Finally, he sees his previous life, spawning demons and attacking the world. More and more, Piccolo begins to understand who and what he is. Warrior, guardian, demon, god, teacher, Namekian. Piccolo believes, he knows that if he trains with the Ascended Saiyans that he too will ascend. Though neither wish to train. Gohan has his mother and his studies to contend with, and he sees his power as more than sufficient for the nonce. The Green Man tries goading Vegeta into training, tries appealing to his sense of strength and purpose, but in the end, Vegeta turns away, stoic save for a lone humph. Piccolo thinks about pushing the pride button and challenging Vegeta, but he can read the prince's heart and knows that the warrior spirit has left for now. Walking away, the Kami in him remarks, "You've come a long way, Prince Vegeta. Through all of your trials, you are starting to see the light. You've earned your rest. Just don't forget who you are and decide who you want to be." Piccolo approaches Bulma with his dilemma and asks for a gravity chamber ship of his own. Bulma agrees, as she's seen much conflict in her life and thoroughly appreciates how bad things can get, and thus the need to stay ready. Plus, she knows that Vegeta has been in this distant funk and that he will likely only listen to someone stronger than him. Piccolo blasts off into space. With King Kai dead and Dende having been teleported to Earth, no one knew how to get to New Namek, so Piccolo set his ship to Yardrat. 11 days went by with Piccolo training hard and meditating harder. He started at 50 times gravity, 5 times that of the hyperbolic time chamber. He was up to 100 by the next day. By day 6, he reached the ship's max of 200 times gravity. He rested on the 7th day, planning and bracing. On the 8th day, he cloned himself, splitting his power in half and upped his training weights. On the 10th day, he split himself in 3, 40%, 30, and 30. His stronger clone sat in the middle of immense gravity, meditating, focusing his energy into a tight ki shield. The other clones clashed around him and broke the shield over and over. But Piccolo is learning. Piccolo arrives on Yardrat and humbly begs an audience with their leader. Pibara tests Piccolo and reads his intentions to be pure. Piccolo explains that he wants to make it back to his home world, and he seeks their teleportation technique to do so. Pibara agrees and sets to training Piccolo. Being a master meditator and a being of centuries of knowledge and wisdom, it only takes the Namekian 75 days to master instant transmission. Pibara remarks that Goku took twice as long to learn that technique. With this praise, Pibara invites Piccolo to learn the rest of spirit control. Now, well into the training, Piccolo decides to take on more techniques. He has an easy time learning cloning and size manipulation, as he already has a toned-down version of both of these. Next comes healing, finally finishing off that training that he started with Dende. He gave a month to each additional skill, with a week in between to hone and train. On day 205 of being away from Earth, Piccolo starts learning the ultimate spirit control technique, forced spirit fission. One day, during the intense training, Pibara nearly breaks Piccolo in three, though Piccolo manages to pull himself together, now understanding the basics of the technique. This shocks Piccolo to his core, as for the first time in 5 outside and 7 including the hyperbolic time chamber years, he thinks about the possibility of Nail being a separate being again. He meditates deeply on this topic, causing the training to take 3 more months. On day 300 of his time away from Earth, Piccolo decides that it is now time to go to New Namek. He tells the Yardratian that he shall return one day, calling him Master. Piccolo locks on to the calmest big Namekian key that he can find, and he disappears from Yardrat along with his ship. He arrives in front of Grand Elder Mori. The Elder believes that he is seeing a ghost. Piccolo remarks that he is not Nail, and he warmly greets the Elder. Piccolo explains that he wants to learn more about their shared people and history. Piccolo spends a Namekian year training Namek's warriors, learning Namek's magic, studying Namek's history and secrets. As part of his own training, he does this by maintaining 2 clones for the whole stay so that he can work and learn thrice as fast. At the end of the Namekian year, Piccolo approaches the Grand Elder with a question. The Grand Elder remarks that Piccolo is the last super Namekian of yore, come again to help take us to new heights. He says that Piccolo can ask him anything. The Super Namek responds by asking the Elder to come outside so that all may hear. There, in sight of all the warriors, Piccolo explains that he has learned great skills in his journey away from home. Skills that he wants to teach these warriors in time. But first, he needs the blessing. The Grand Elder assumes that Piccolo wishes to take them to Yardrat and grants the blessing. But Piccolo, eyes never moving, asks the Elder to allow for the warriors to fuse.